today we have an Infamous Iron Man showcase, and I really like this guy. I feel like he just has a ton of utility to offer, and his damage is pretty great too. So we're here in Battlegrounds, which is a bit rare for me to like showcase someone in Battlegrounds, but I feel like it was just necessary to show how good his short form damage is, and show this piece of utility against like Bishop and Kitty Pryde that's just like massive. So what's going on here is that Bishop, whenever he would gain 2 or more prowess at once, it gets converted into an energy vulnerability. So you just stack up a ton of energy vulnerabilities and you just do like a ton of damage. Like right here, look at the SP2, man. It just like completely wipes him out. Like look at this damage. This is a rank 3 Bishop and this is a 5-star Infamous Iron Man, and he just made such fast work. That was a 30-second fight. So it's the same case of Kitty Pryde. Whenever she's passively stunned, she gets 2 prowess at once, so that converts into an energy vulnerability. But not only that, you also inflict the cowardice when you activate the Aura of Iron, so that means that she can't gain her prowess anymore, right? So he just like completely counters Kitty Pryde. In my opinion, probably one of the best counters. So like right there, she has the cowardice on, so she can't gain any prowess at all. But we slow play it and we wait out the cowardice so we can inflict more energy vulnerabilities. And this fight doesn't go as good as I wanted it to go. That's why I have another Kitty Pryde fight on hand. And because like right here, I activate the Aura of Iron, I get my 3rd energy vulnerability, but I forget to activate the Aura of Iron here when I drop my SP2. So I'm missing out on a ton of damage, which is pretty unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. I have another fight recorded anyway. So here I go for the heavy attack, or no I don't. I bait out a heavy attack, and then I drop the SP2 here, and that was still a pretty fast fight given that I did mess up quite a bit. I think that was like 43 seconds, which is definitely pretty good. I forgot to mention that both of the Kitty Prydes that I'm facing right now are rank 4, so it's actually a very impressive time now that I think about it. And yeah, this Kitty fight goes much better overall, I would say, just because I make better use of the cowardice and I actually use the SP2 properly. I don't know how much of a damage loss it is if you use the SP2 without the Aura of Iron. I would imagine it's like a fair chunk of damage that you're losing out on, but I don't know, I didn't do the calculations or anything. So yeah, this fight, it just goes much better because I utilized the SP2 better. And yeah, this fight is really straightforward no matter how you fight it, pretty much, just because it's just a Kitty Pryde and he like destroys her in every single aspect. Like look at that damage, man. That damage is so good. She throws the SP1 here, which kind of like gets me off my groove, but it doesn't matter, the fight's almost done anyway. And then I just go for one more combo and then one more SP1, and then that should wrap it up. So that was a pretty fast time, I'd say. That was about like 40 something seconds, which is not bad at all. So now let's jump into Act 7. This is the Aspect of War and Cage Rattler path. But if I didn't tell you that it was Aspect of War, you would have never known, because he just makes sure that the opponent never throws a single special attack in the entire fight. And that is just like unreal. You know, that is one of the strongest pieces of utility out there, to be sure that the opponent never throws a special attack. That is incredible. That is some power control that is just like absolutely unreal. So here's how it works. Basically, you just keep power burning them and they will never get their SP3 because they will always get power burn before they can do that, right? So right here, power burn. He can't throw the SP3. Right here, we activate the Aura of Iron, we drop the SP3, so now he's going to get an Energize, and so am I. It's a really cool ability. Like, he increases the power rate of both champions, but that's actually a good thing for him because like he wants the opponent to have as much power as possible. So here, we bait out the heavy attack, and then we just go in. We can just go in freely at this point just because we always power run on every hit now. So we drop the SP1, and now he has Special Lock. So he cannot throw a special attack no matter what. Like, he cannot throw, like, he is completely controlled now, right? And this is just insane utility. Like, right here, we drop the SP2, and then that was a pretty decent chunk of damage as well. And then we dropped the SP1 here, and then he didn't throw a single special attack in that whole match. That is absolutely unreal levels of control. Like, I'm still in disbelief how good this guy is at power control. And it's like not even power control, it's just like AI control, is that how you would say it? Because like they just never throw a special attack. He makes sure that the opponent never throws a special attack. It is just insane. It is crazy good, man. Like, of course the opponent can like throw it into your block, it would be annoying, of course, but there is such a small chance that happens that it's like super reliable to do, right? So yeah, this is the same path. If I didn't tell you it was the same path, you wouldn't have known though, because he makes sure that you never see Aspect of War once in the entire fight. Like, it is just incredible stuff, man. I really, really like this character just because of how good his control is. And he has the damage to back it up as well. Like, this character is such a massive win. He's so good. And so here we go for the SP1, but that fish, we didn't get to the SP2 there because he was finished off with the SP1. So now we have this Footloose path. It's the same exact thing. You'll make sure that they never throw a single special attack in the entire fight. But I do 2 rotations here. In this fight, I do a bit of a more risky one. So when you throw the SP3, there's a chance that you don't crit on your heavy attack. So that means that you won't power burn the opponent, which means that whenever you finish your SP3, they will also have one. So that is a really risky thing to do, right? But I'm going to show you the safer one later on in this video, like the fight right after, basically. So right here, this is a risky rotation. You have to bank on the fact that Sunspot will get power burn after this SP3, which isn't a guaranteed chance. It's just a very, very high chance because his crit rating when the opponent is above 2 hours of power is massive, right? So here he does get power burn, so we can just go in immediately, drop the SP1, and now he's completely controlled. And then yeah, this is where you want to be, you know? He's special locked, he can't do anything about it, and now we can just drop the SP2 and close out the fight. Such a smooth fight, man. Such a smooth character. This dude is so good. Now here's a safer way to play it. You can just safe play it by just dropping your SP2, not activating the SP3 at all, to just make sure that she can never throw a special attack and that you never have to risk her getting to an SP3, right? So here's what you just hold block, bait out the heavy attack, keep going in like that. Right there I did it again. So here I dropped the heavy attack into my SP2 and it just does a lot of damage, and then I can just rinse and repeat that, and then the fight will be done, and she will never throw a single special attack in this entire fight. It is just such a good ability. Of course he has more things he can do, but this is, I think, the most important one in my opinion, just because it's such a nice utility piece. And I probably said that like 5 times now, but I'll say it again. It's just such a good thing to have, in my opinion. So yeah, that was a pretty smooth fight as well. A pretty short one as well. This is a 5-star, keep in mind. So of course the damage won't be as good as it seems, but it is very good damage for a 5-star character. So I have to mention that he is shock and incinerate immune if he has his armor up buff active, which is of course a great piece of immunities. You know, those are some of the rest immunities in the game. There is a lot of shock immune champions, there's a lot of incinerate immune champions, but none of them are both shock and incinerate immune, you know? Only Super Scroll, Icarus, that's all I can think of that are both shock and incinerate immune. And now this guy. And I feel like he is better overall than both of those characters, so I feel like he is the best character that is shock and incinerate immune. So yeah, pretty awesome piece of utility there as well. He just has so much going on for him, man. He has the power control, he has the immunities, he has the damage. There's just a ton going on with this character. So this is the energy adoption lightning lane. It's just really straightforward. You're just shock immune, right? So that counters the node all in itself. So we just go for the regular rotation here. Yeah, this rotation is so fun, man, because you just completely control the fight. You special lock them, so there's literally nothing to worry about. You just have to play regularly, and they will not throw a special attack because they cannot throw a special attack. It's such a fun time. This character is super fun as well. If it isn't obvious enough already, he's so fun. His special attacks are so fun to fire off. His basic combo is really awesome. His blocking animation is super cool. He activates this purple thing. It's super cool. There's just so much to love about this character. Genuinely. Maybe I'm a bit biased because I did read his bio and it was really sad. Basically he's Dr. Doom, of course, right? But he's a hero now. And people don't really trust him as a hero because of his past, and I just feel really bad for him. So that's why I'm a bit biased, because I feel really bad for this guy, man. His backstory is so sad. But yeah, this path is major because this shows that he can counter unblockable. So as you can see, he is unblockable right now, the Iron Man, just because we don't have the Ore of Iron up consistently. But once we get the Ore of Iron up on the SP3, he will not be unblockable for the rest of the fight. It is incredible utility. This is only when he's awakened, though. Just keep that in mind, that you cannot access this if he is unduped. So we wait out the armor up here, and yeah, we just waited out. We waited out so it doesn't go unblockable anymore, and then we trigger the Aura of Iron to get the Energize after the SP3, and then he will not go unblockable for the rest of the fight, which is such a nice thing to have, man. Like, just not have to worry about unblockable is so good. Yeah, it's just a major piece of utility in my opinion. It is such a rare utility as well. That's why it's so good, because it's so rare. Like, not many characters counter unblockable as good as Infamous Iron Man does. Like, you see right there, it says unblockable failed. That's going to pop up a lot just because he triggers his armor up a lot in this fight. But yeah, now he's special locked as well, so we're just controlling the whole fight. Like, it is just, everything is controlled perfectly. We drop the SP2 here, does some pretty nice damage. It's such a nice SP2 to look at, man. It's such a nice SP2. I love it. I love this character. And I'm so, like, biased because I feel so bad for him. But, honestly, though, like, bias aside, this character is, like, objectively amazing, you know? He just has so much control, so much utility, so much damage. He is just a really strong character. And that was just a super clean fight there, man. Like, absolutely controlled. So now we have Iron Patriot on the same exact node. It's pretty much the same rotation as well. You just wait out the unblockable, trigger your Aura of Iron, throw the SP3, and then he is just controlled for the rest of the fight. It is, like, he has a pretty set rotation pretty much. In, like, shorter fights, you don't, like, bot out with the SP3. You just, like, go straight to your SP2. But in, like, longer fights like this, you want to go for the SP3 just because the Energize is so clutch, man. The Energize is so amazing. Like, sometimes I accidentally forget to, like, get the Energize up. So whenever I throw the SP3 and it's not there, it's just, like, it ruins my day because you miss out on so much damage, on so much, like, control. So you have to make sure that whenever you throw the SP3, that the Aura of Iron is already active, so you get the Energize. That is probably the most important thing, and it can really screw up if you forget that. So just remember that. So we wait out the unblockable. We go for the heavy attack here. We trigger the Aura of Iron. So now when we throw the SP3, we're going to get the Energize, which is perfect. And then this segment is so clean. Like, this segment right here. So we go in, or no, we wait out. We bait out the heavy attack. But he just plays so passive, so I just go in, right? And then I just keep trying to intercept him, just play as aggressive as possible to get the most of my Aura of Iron duration. And yeah, you can just play super aggressive with this guy because there's literally nothing to worry about. You can just keep going in. They're not going to throw a special attack. They're not going to do anything at all. So you can just go in freely. I'm playing very aggressive here. I'm just, like, trying to maximize my damage here. And then I throw another SP2. That does pretty nice damage as well. And yeah, he's almost down. My Aura of Iron's about to fall off, but I just send it. And look at that duration, man. I had like 0.1 second left on the Aura of Iron, and I still got the fight down. So yeah, really smooth fight, completely controlled, and he is just perfect for that. So now it's boss time. So we have a Weapon X boss, we have a Guillotine 299 boss, and then we have a Killmonger boss to end it off. And this is just like a really controlled fight, you know? Weapon X is really aggressive, so that's perfect for us because we can just, like, go in after the Aura of Iron on the SP3, and then we can just bait out his Unstoppable, wait out everything, wait out his Berserk if we even have to, and it's just a really controlled fight. So, like, right here, he's about to go Berserk, and we just have to wait it out. And keep in mind, if you're fighting Weapon X with Infamous Iron Man, you cannot activate the Aura of Iron, like, because he's stun immune while he's Berserk. Don't ask why I know this. It's not from experience, trust me. Of course it is. I tried to do that and I just got, like, destroyed. But yeah, once you know that, though, this is a really straightforward fight. You just need to wait out Berserk before you can activate your SP3 because you want to activate your SP3 while you have the Aura of Iron active, right? So right here, he can be stunned now, so I activate my Aura of Iron, and then now the fight's about to be very, very controlled, which is the best part. I love how good his control is. I can say it 100 times, and I will, because it's so good. So right here, we don't bait out anything. I don't even know why I said that. Right here, we just go in. We just go in and special lock. So now he's completely controlled, and now we can just play as a... Okay, no, we take a hit first, and that was strategic because you just want to build power, right? And I'm kidding, of course. I just got hit for no reason. He's about to go Unstoppable again, though, so we have to wait that out. That kind of, like, loses out. Like, we kind of lose out on Aura duration there, but it's fine. We drop the SP2 again. pretty nice damage, like really nice damage, man. He is just a very solid damage dealer in my opinion. So we wait out the Berserk, and then we can stun him again, so we just activate the Aura of Iron here. And yeah, this fight is going very, very good so far. Like, not really much to worry about. It's just a really straightforward fight. So I think we go for the SP2 here. Yeah, perfect. Not as much damage as the previous one, just because we activated it when he had 2 bars of power, and his SP2 scales with the opponent's power like meter. So if he has 3 bars of power, that's gonna be the maximum damage output for the SP2. Just keep that in mind whenever you're using him. Like, an SP2 at 1 bar power will not be as powerful as an SP2 at 3 bars of power, right? So we get that fight done. It was about 2 minutes, which is a perfectly fine time for a boss. So now we have this Guillotine 299 boss. She has pretty much everything that you want for an Infamous Iron Man fight. She has Thunderstruck, which we counter. She has Shock Vulnerability, which is perfect for us because we're all shock damage. And she also has this node, whenever you power burn, that you get a shock passive on her. So he power burns pretty much the whole entire fight, which is perfect for us. So the strategy here is to not let her throw a single special attack, right? Because her special attacks have annoying effects like the Spectre, like the Power Drain, things like that. There I get lucky. I don't know what happened there. Like, I countered her miss, but he doesn't have a miss counter in his kit, so I don't really know what happened there. And now my Aura of Iron has extended duration as well, so I really do not know what happened there, but I'm not going to complain. So here we throw the SP3. I made sure to do it right after landing my medium attack and letting the power burn activate after I throw the SP3. Like, you have to make sure that you do that. Whenever you throw the SP3 and they're at 3 bars of power, make sure that you throw your first attack, right? Don't let the power burn trigger until after the SP3. So, pretty much throw your attack immediately and then go for your SP3, right? Just keep that in mind whenever you're playing him. So now we have the special lock on, so now she's completely countered. I go from SP2 here. Massive SP2. Such good damage coming from Infamous Iron Man. Here I need to bait out a heavy attack or throw a heavy attack myself, so I can counter her miss cloak, but it doesn't matter anyway, she doesn't activate it, and then the fight is pretty much done. I just need to do one more hit. Perfect. That was a clean fight. That was such a clean fight, man. 127. So last but not least, we have this Killmonger boss. He has Power Shield, he has no hit mercy, and then he has what's the last node? Oh yeah, Extinction Protocol. So Extinction Protocol gets countered by Infamous Iron Man because he doesn't let him throw a special attack, or he very rarely does. So that's just a counter in itself. The only thing to worry about here is pretty much no hit mercy because we just get a ton of damage into our block and it's very, very annoying. But Enhanced Parry Armor Break counters his reverb, so there's nothing to worry about there. Here we go for the critical power burn to make sure that he doesn't get to his SP3. He throws the SP2 there, which is fine though. As long as he doesn't throw special attacks a ton, then Extinction Protocol isn't really anything to worry about. So we go for our SP3 here. We let him throw another SP2. I think that was an accident, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter. I go for a parry here just to keep the armor break up, and then now I go for my SP3, and now it's time to control him. This is the best part of any Infamous Iron Man fight. I like the SP3. I like how he hits him, the mask comes off, then he gets really mad. That's pretty hilarious. But yeah, now we try to bait out a hit. He throws his SP2, which is fine. It's fine because we're about to special lock him anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We go for the parry there. We drop the SP1. That was pretty nice damage because we have Power Shield up. But he also counters Power Shield in a way because his critical shocks, or his critical power burns, ignore Power Shield, which is pretty massive. Okay, now get ready for the SP2 damage. Look at this. Massive damage. Absolutely I didn't know if the power burns can scale with Power Shield, but it does. And it just leads to some massive damage. So I drop my SP2 again, right before the Aura of Iron expires, and that closes out the fight. And that closes out the showcase as well. So let me know your thoughts on Infamous Iron Man. For me, he's such a phenomenal character, man. His utility is amazing. His damage is great. His control is absolutely unreal. His control is so good. But he also does a ton of things outside of that as well. So yeah, for me, he's just a really strong character. And yeah, that's me for me.